And welcome back, ODL fans. I am Author Cook, play-by-play caster, joined yet again by Alk Battery as my color caster. Given the early conclusion of the series between Scum Gang and KT Lulster, going to be week 2 match between Classic and Rawr eSports. Rawr.
Yeah.
Rawr.
Yeah.
You know what?
For
Whatever.
back, it's Rawr. It's Rawr XD, lol. But no. For anyone who's just joining us, Classic as Rawr being our gold champions in season 2. Now that it is season 3, you have a bit of a with Chajiru leaving the lineup, so. Rawr taking a victory last week in a 2-1 series. Classic, on the other hand, 0-1, not looking amazing. Or no, sorry, I think it's the other way around. Classic won, and Rawr ended up losing a very close 2. I got those mixed up in my head.
Yep, and of course, Rawr is trying to rally now. Being the defending champions, doesn't feel great to lose that first week.
Hey, it happens, you know. C9 lost the first couple weeks, and look at them, they almost became Summer Split champions. So it happens.
That's absolutely true. Yeah, the key is to lose the first 2 and then win literally everything else.
Lose the first 2 games and then win every single other. Best of 5, everything, best of 1, everything. Going into this game, taking a look at the bans, a lot of focus in the top side. Aurum and Rawr for Rawr being banned out, as well as Darius for Classic. These are some pretty hefty bans. I mean, they're getting rid of some of the more poke-based champions with the Rawr, but Darius and Aurum, some super strong picks up there.
Won't stop that Urgot from being locked in, though.
Ooh.
Extraordinarily strong pick right now. Very meta top laner. Has been getting a lot of love. Like, it feels like every other game Urgot's that first pick slot for the blue side in world play-ins so far. We are seeing, it looks like, we are seeing that Braum get picked on. Now will be to see if they go for the traditional thing, which is to go ahead and pick up an ADC in one fell swoop as well, or if they are going to be... No, they will pick up the Skarner instead. Another very, very strong pick. Recent buffs have done very, very well by Skarner, and he is getting lots of attention lately. Always was a champion who did really, really well in a serious competitive setting. He just brings so much utility to the table.
Yeah, you know, there's a pretty easy flowchart for picking meta jungle champions right now. It's so we start at, you know, you pick your champion. Can they use Dark Harvest well? If no, go to the next question, which is can they use Predator well? If no, pick another champion. So that's just how it feels. Rawr picking up the Trundle and the Twitch for their last 2 picks in the first phase. Twitch, notoriously good, one of those champions where obviously the utilization of stealth can be huge in team fights. You can't track where the Twitch is, and all of a sudden he comes up behind you, about 1,000 range off tat, and he is blowing up your team with AoE damage and on hit.
Very interesting to see the Trundle and the Twitch getting picked up at the same time there, because Twitch, of course, with his spray and pray ultimate, does seem to deal a massive amount of damage to a bunch of targets all at once. Is a little bit more built around single target takedown. Oh, you have a big tank? Guess what? No, you don't. I have all your armor and magic resist. So, kind of in light of that, I'm kind of wondering what the late game team fighting plan is for Rawr.
Well, for Rawr at least, I mean, just taking a look, again, they have the Trundle who can, you know, kind of get rid of a lot of the tankiness that is going to be on the Skarner. They also are banning out Vayne and LeBlanc, so trying to get a really favorable matchup for their mid laner on Heartshaker Sauna. Trying to get a, you know, some kind of matchup where the mid laner can't roam out of the lane, or the mid laner is not going to be necessarily a damage threat, but this is going to definitely have to be a protect Twitch comp. I mean, you do have the Trundle and the Urgot who can bring a pretty good 2v2, but Classic picking up the Camille on the top side. We already saw it in this first game for Scum Gangster. They had the Camille top lane, and I mean that was pretty much a smash. But Skarner can also bring some pretty hefty damage as a champion in a 1v1 or even in a 2v2.
Ooh, but Classic eSports are not going to let Rawr just sit back and counterpick their mid laners. They will pick up Varus here and leave their mid lane for the very last pick of the draft.
Mm-hmm.
You see Karma getting picked up, and Karma definitely is in the support role with Malzahar getting picked up as that mid laner.
This is really setting up Twitch to. It's gonna be a lot of eyes on Awu. He is going to be a massive carry. I mean, you have Karma who can give him some shields, really speed up his movement speed, and make sure that he's able to get around the map and get around in team fights positioning wise. The Malzahar is going to be huge in these fights, as I mean, just being able to lock down a single target, maybe lock down the Galio, maybe you even lock down the Camille or Varus, and it becomes really difficult for you to be able to kill them. On the side of Classic, though, I do like their entire comp as a whole. They do have a lot of pick. I mean, you have the Camille hookshot, you have the Varus Chains of Corruption, you have the entirety of Skarner's kit, and Galio and Braum do provide some really great CC. For the Skarner, at least Skarner ult can come down, and you create a large zone in which Rawr cannot enter without risking a lot.
Absolutely. Now, it is interesting. I do have to ask, what do you think about this difference? Like, obviously, we just came off of a game where we saw Camille, who performed extremely well in lane against Darius. What do you think of this Camille versus Urgot matchup?
I actually think this is a pretty good matchup. Yes, the mobility is going to be, an issue for him, as the hook shot can end up being a stun. He uses that disdain and the purge as well to try and get a lot of damage and get some flips off in the top lane. But Camille is going to have to go in, and then that's when we'll see Urgot's W really shine. She'll be within melee range where he can walk around her, maybe get some slow off with the purge, and hit her with a lot of damage that maybe she's not necessarily expecting. And again, we do see that the Unsealed Spellbook is the rune choice here, and that could also change fights very, very drastically. If he ends up taking something like Exhaust, that can be super influential in a 1v1. If he ends up taking Ignite, that small tick of true damage can be, the means by which he wins a 1v1 or a 2v2.
I have to admit to something. I'm a bad analyst, and I completely missed when Urgot started getting run with Unsealed Spellbook here.
It's broken.
What is the reasoning behind that?
Urgot tends to not have a very good he's not able to utilize other ones. You might see some 1v1 skirmish.
Just a little bit of level 1 action, but looks like everyone's gonna maybe bug out. No, Bliss is running forward. He wants to deal some damage to this.
That is just disrespectful as hell. That is the disrespectful positioning from him, knowing that the tactical sweep is what Camille picked up first. Looks like they're actually going to try and fight for the Spire here.
A little low here, but Ranor getting taken down, having to flash out because of, oh my god, Carbon Twitch is able to chunk her down. That's nuts.
Yeah, that is a flash from Raynor, and that is going to be huge for this top lane matchup. Spider-Juan should be able to abuse this matchup. Getting a little bit aggressive for that Spire there. Raynor is going to end up sub. Then again, that is also first blood going over to Twitch. Super important there.
Absolutely it is. And after that little engage, it's proceeding pretty much as expected. Raynor opting not to use teleport to get back to lane right away, which will start him out a little bit behind Spider-Juan in terms of lane priority and farming, but it's Camille. He shouldn't have too much trouble farming.
Yeah. I'm just interested to see just how now they play around top lane, as Raynor is not going to have flash, not going to be able to use that, and Spider-Juan also has minion dematerializer, which should help really push in these waves against Raynor. If Raynor is going to have to probably decide to pick up a Tiamat, that kind of wave pressure is going to help, and especially along the the shotgun knees, Spider-1 is probably going to have a pretty good time clearing waves. This early game looks like it's relatively calm though.
I do think that in terms of gank potential, they're gonna have a lot of trouble with the Camille up there in the top lane, because think about the tools that Urgot in lane and Trundle as the jungler have to work with in order to set up those ganks. You've got Spoder1 on Urgot, a champion that is all about moving kind of controlling the relative positioning of these two, of your champion and the opponent's champion, to get kind of maximum damage out of that echoing flames, out of the purge. And meanwhile, you've got Trundle, who has tools like Frozen Domain, Pillar of Ice, to really just obstruct the path of escape. Oh, look at that. Actually a big all-in from Rawr, forcing the flash out of Spoder1. And this is the thing, Camille's hook shot, with one ability in the kit, almost completely negates all of the obstruction threats from Frozen Domain, from Pillar of Ice, and really makes it harder for an Urgot player to maintain the positioning to to maximize that shotgun knee damage.
Yeah, I'm there's some rumblings that you could maybe outplay it if you're able to land the Trundle Pillar in time. You can actually
big damage onto Homie. Chain getting landed onto Homie, so he has to flash away. We're seeing a lot of flashes blown here in these early skirmishes. This is definitely going to be a very active game, I feel like.
Yeah, no jungle presence, however. Octave has gone for a full clear. He is going to go top
lane. In the late! You were just talking about it, picking the hook shot. And the disdain will flip Rawr right up and over. Now he has no choice but to try to run toward mid lane, but he is so low. Adaptive defense not holding him out. Oh, but he is able to run away, but not in time for him to hook shot, as Bliss is able to chomp down on his face.
I am actually a prophet. Holy. I called it the instant I called it, it happened. The blocking of the hook shot with the pillar, not necessarily in that fashion. I was expecting it to maybe, he accidentally hits the pillar for the hook and ends up going over that, but not necessarily getting a lot of distance. But that was a great pillar out from Bliss, and there we go. We already see the 2-0, and now Spider-1 has 2 assists in his, in his pocket, assist gold.
Ooh. Nezumi throwing out some nutty poke. Just dealing a massive amount of sustained damage. Forcing Homie out of lane, but they're both gonna stay. And Twitch is stealthed! He's gonna sneak in! Oh, but the Unbreakable coming out of Homie. Wu getting taken really low as Octave's coming in as Skarner with that Predator popped. And the red buff is just enough to take down the damage. Nezumi's full health, but will not be for long with Varus here. And it is just fortunate for Nezumi that this is happening at level 4, not at level 6. And there is not enough damage.
Wait a minute.
Nezumi having to flash back. Densoft getting turned on, and the minion damage bringing him dangerously low. But he will survive with just shy of 50 HP.
Yeah, that is both sums for the bot laners of Rawr here, and great job from Varus, not necessarily using the flash just yet. Still has the ignite down there on Homie, so do have some kill pressure there. But Twitch, again, he is getting a lot of this advantage. He does have a kill already, and already picked up the BF sword. And I mean, Densoft, he's only really picked up the recurve mode. You can hit up a lot, but that is not going to be able to match the damage of a press the attack hitting you, as well as you already have lethal tempo. I don't know if you need it. Level 6 here.
Rawr hits level 6, goes in for the all-in, but Bliss is here too, and he will Frozen Domain. We have Silver Uzi teleporting in on Galio. He is also level 6. Interesting that he did not try to just reposition an ulti in. He popped his teleport.
Yeah, now they have, they do have an advantage up here. Heartshaker Sana did just use the TP in the mid lane, so there's not going to be too much of a discrepancy when it comes to summoners. But yeah, that ultimate does have some pretty short range at level 1 of the when you're putting points into it. So not surprised to see the teleport there is able to discourage the gank and maybe some kill onto Rawr. Rawr does have to also blow
Uzi
flash.
just punching in, but will bug out without any further action for now.
I think if Spider-1 actually had gotten level 6 in that fight, I'm pretty sure Rawr just dies to fear beyond death. Not much you can do in that situation next to just straight up die. They do end up getting a... No, okay, sorry. I thought Rift Herald was on the map yet. It is not timed necessarily. Ooh, no mana on Heartseeker Shauna.
Ooh, and both junglers are at top lane now. Spoder Juan purging in. Rawr getting dropped really low, but having to hook shot out. And Octave will suppress, but in turn be suppressed by that Fear Beyond Death and be brought down for another kill in this top lane. This one going straight to Spoder Juan.
This top lane is it's a little quiet up here. Can you hear the suppression?
Bliss
oh, wait a minute.
Taking a turret shot. Rawr all ins on both members of the opposing team and will protect his turret and pick up a revenge kill. It is now 3-2, and that gold deficit has shrunk down to just over 700.
Oof. You know, you hate to see it. Rawr is now going to reset his stove.
Silver Uzi going in for an all-in with that Justice Punch and that Shield of Duran. Shaker down but to 1/2 health, but it won't be enough.
You know, kind of pushing the limits there in terms of damage. Sana playing the Malzahar is going to have to wait a long time. It's also going to have to back, and this is a cannon wave, so it's going to be pretty important. It looks like going down top lane. No mana. It's not able to get it.
Oof. Things have stabilized just a little bit for the time being. No further kills have gone down. And at this point, I'm just wondering which team is going to be making the first move toward one of the big objectives on the map, because so far it doesn't seem like either team is positioned particularly well to make a move on Drake. Rift Herald isn't even up yet, and there isn't any significant pressure toward any tower in particular.
Yeah, gonna have to see who gets a winning lane matchup. I mean, Malzahar has picked up the Lost Chapter, so is gonna be looking to, you know, shove the lane, leave. Galio does typically have a little bit of a difficult time clearing waves, especially early on, but we do see a lot of the vision is predominantly in favor of Classic. Uh-oh.
Octave coming in behind Heartshaker, flanking in, but opting to leave. Still a little bit shook after that Fear Beyond Death.
Yeah, and the Malzahar obviously is able to block out the stun there. If that stun actually lands onto Heartshaker, I'm pretty sure you just pull her on a turret and immediately kill her. Uh-oh, wait a minute.
Disdaining to purge. Adaptive defense coming up just in time to absorb a little bit of the damage, but still overall a one trade in favor of Spoder Juan.
I love this bot lane from Rawr right now. They are trying to really punish Densoft right now.
Bliss is here.
In lane gank here.
Gank. All he needs to do is lure Rawr in just a little bit, and the Disdain's coming in, but Bliss is playing patient. Hextech Ultimatum comes down, but he's answered by the Frozen Domain from Bliss into that Pillar of Ice. And Octave will suppress Spider Juan under, but Spider Juan will have to flash out.
Yeah, that was really close. Rawr having to just barely get away. The slow on Fear Beyond Death really was going to be one of the killers there if they didn't end up doing anything about it, though. Great job from Octave to answer that gank. Now, I think a lot of damage here.
Brought low by that Justice Punch, Shield of Durand, and Colossal Smash.
Oh, the exhaust coming out from Spoder Juan finally, so he's going to be able to come back and switch to Flash, although his Flash is down yet again. So, interesting to note there.
Bliss coming up, there's no vision, and the Frozen Domain, and the hook shot right into that wedge of the Pillar of Ice. Oh, Rawr is down.
I'm telling you, Trundle is actually a secret.
Ice in the same spot, too. That is heartbreaking.
I'm telling you, Trundle is a secret counter to Camille. Camille cannot answer the Pillar of Ice. She can try and hookshot, but it ends up blocking, and it is also a knockup, so it can stop you there.
Yeah,
it looks
Rawr
like
really needs to hold that hookshot until Pillar of Ice comes down.
Exactly. There's a pretty huge wave that is going to start stacking up, but it hasn't exactly pushed out for Rawr. So it looks like the Baron damage, or sorry, the Dragon damage is going to go in favor of them. Wait a minute, Rawr.
This might be a solo kill for Rawr.
Well, this Dragon going pretty low.
Pretty straightforward Dragon take. That's the first one of the game, and it is a Mountain Drake.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna. This will definitely help them. I mean, they really have a pretty good clear on objectives anyway, with the Skarner doing a lot of damage alongside the Varus. But this dragon is only going to be useful if they're actually able to get objectives and do turret damage. And something to note, they did end up picking the Rift Herald on the side of Rawr. They have it now on the Trundle, and this could be another turret, or a turret, sorry, going down first in favor of Rawr. So interested to see how Bliss is going to be playing around. Probably going to be looking to get another gank in the top side, as Raynor just used TP. Does have the flash, but
A little bit of a minor skirmish. Raynor trying to protect his control ward, but Spoderwan just dealing some damage to him and not caring all that much. He's chased him off of Tribush. Raynor is not going to be able to do anything about it. Control ward goes down.
is Octave okay? There you go. He's going to go for this bot side. Looks like Raynor and
piercing
Spoderwan
arrow goes down to Awu, but the spray and pray is too strong. And Octave will suppress and get the kill in revenge. Spoderwan has all in onto Raynor, and he just stood there and died.
Really close fight. Looks like the Fear Beyond Death and the Hextech Ultimatum were both used on either side, so you know, a battle of margins. The press the attack apparently doing wonders for Raynor in this damage, but Awu does go down in the bot side. The kill again going over to Octave, who I mean Densoft did also go down to that, so you're making sure that your AD is picking up some kills. Already has a Storm Razor, while Densoft, I mean, you have the Bork. The Bork is a relatively cheap item, and you're still behind someone like the Twitch when it's about 400 gold in favor. And there we go. There's the Rift Herald being dropped. This is going to be a mid lane turret. That's going to be first blood turret going over to the side of Rawr.
Expertly timed, as 3 members of the opposing team are all still back on their way back from base. So this will be 1 charge at least, and possibly 2.
Possibly 2. We do see Raynor is here now, looking to try and get a flank with the hook shot.
There it is. Inner turret get dropped down to half in 1 fell swoop. But they really don't have the follow-up now, with almost all 5 members of the team somewhere around mid.
Yeah, Densoft looks like he wanted to, maybe he was walking down bot, then he looked like he was going to rotate mid, but now he's just being caught in limbo. And again, this is solo experience going on to Awu. Awu's already a level up, and he does have some CS advantage here, about 17, going to be probably 20, but that is a lot of solo XP to be going off, just in favor of Rawr in this bot side.
Absolutely.
So I mean, now that we do see that Bliss is going to be backing, he has a Ruby Crystal, which probably lends itself to being more of a tank item. Might be going for the Iceborne Gauntlet. I am interested to see this 2-level lead in favor of Raynor. 20 CS up is, the kills are a little wonk. Now they're going to be a level down. Spoderwan has picked up the cleanse, so looking to try and play around against that hook shot.
Spoderwan getting taken pretty low and suppressed now by Octave.
Waiting for the team.
But Bliss and Heartshaker are there now, and Silver Uzi arriving as well. This is a team, both teams just stacking up on both sides of this engagement, but ultimately will be a 1-for-0. But Raynor chasing down Heartshaker, and Silver Uzi rushing to join him, Justice punching in. Winds of War picking up the killing blow onto Heartshaker.
Gotta be careful bot lane though.
Densoft getting taken very low by Awu, spray and pray, and Homie with the Glacial Fissure cannot save him, will be forced to back off. We are up to 6 and 6 for kills, with a turret on the side of blue and a Mountain Drake on the side of red.
Uh-oh. Looks like the mid laner for Rawr is lagging. So, probably wondering, hey, Heartshaker Sana, why didn't you use the Malzahar ultimate? We did see, the Skarner ult already come down, and Hookshot was down for most of those fights. So, kind of wondering, hey, where's my ultimate? Am I blind, or does Heartshaker Sana not have a keystone?
I mean, on my screen he does.
Okay.
He's got Arcane Combat on my screen.
Okay, yeah, I can't see it on my account for some reason. So, yeah.
Weird.
Okay. So, probably
Rito,
just a spectator.
please. Small
Rito.
indie company.
Yeah,
BTW.
Densoft also doesn't have. Oh wait, I know he has lethal tempo, so it must be like a timing thing where. Yeah, I know he definitely has lethal tempo because I made a comment about it. But now that we do have a pause, we do have time to kind of take in the map for right now. Raynor is picking up a lot of kills and getting some CS, but Spoderwan is able to push these waves incredibly fast. Rawr does now have the Tiamat, so maybe you might see a difference in terms of, how easily they are able to push the turret, but that is it on the top side of the map in favor of Rawr. The mid lane obviously is already opened up, so Silver Uzi is looking to try and grab these waves, push it back, and try and roam using the ultimate. Densoft, though, the Classics bot lane is not looking good. They are getting really heavily exploited by Awu and Nezumi.
Yeah, and if you just look at the gold so far, there is a 1.6 gold differential between Awu and Densoft alone. That's accounting for the lion's share of the 2K gold lead that Rawr has in this current game.
Mm-hmm. Interested to see just how looks like we're going to try and get back in the game. Yep, there we go. Game is unpaused. 16 minutes, as you said, 6-6 in kills, and a 2K gold lead in favor of Rawr. The next dragon is coming up in 1:45. It is an Ocean Drake, so maybe Spoderjuan is looking to try and grab this. TP coming out in the mid lane from Heartshaker Sana. Interested to see how they're going to be able to play around the map. No TPs on either top laner, so this next objective is going to be interesting to see just in terms of macro.
Yep, Spoderjuan should want this Ocean Drake to shore up his sustain, but Densoft should also want it for help in dealing with the poke and the harass that's coming down from Nezumi so far in this lane.
Yeah, so looks like Bliss is already roaming down with the bot laners, trying to get this lane pushed out and go straight for the dragon, go for the scuttle there.
Yeah, Bliss definitely making use of Trundle's natural speed to get some nutty lane ganks going. Nezumi is going to self-buff and try to move in on them, flat the chain, and Awu unstealthing at the crucial moment, but Octave arrives at just the wrong time, and that Bladed Quiver is going to result in a massive amount of damage going on to both Awu and Nezumi, and Awu will be the one to pay the ultimate price.
Yeah, the stinger there, the impale coming out and pulling him over the Trundle pillar. I think he was expecting the pillar to create just enough space for the stun to not necessarily go through and maybe just staunch the bleeding just a little bit there, but great job.
I would say a little bit overconfident from Nezumi there, jumping the gun a little bit. Probably should have waited until Bliss was a little bit closer to the action.
Yeah, ends up baiting Awu, and Awu ends up dying, so Spoderjuan ends up taking Ghost, so you can Ghost to lane and get a little bit, get back in that lane, stop the push.
Rawr not taking any chances, gonna hook shot clean across the lane and get out of there.
Exactly. Looks like
he's moving so fast. There's the corrosive charge.
He is so fast. Wait, that's disgusting. I think he actually has Time Warp Tonic, which is probably why he is on some corrupting charges from his corrupting potion. So he's going to be moving a bit fast. And he also has the Black Cleaver, obviously. So, wait, their bot lane ended up backing. Didn't get any turret damage. They ended up backing. And now the dragon looks like it could be going over to the side of Rawr.
It could be, but they're delaying, wasting precious seconds while they should be starting it. And soon enough, nope, it doesn't look like they're actually going to try to close the deal. They're going instead for turret damage in the bottom lane.
Yeah, and Raynor's now actually taking a little bit of the bad side of these traits, probably waiting for the adaptive defenses to come in and save her, but Spoderjuan has just been putting out a lot of damage, probably due to the just a large amount of the damage being blocked by the Ninja Tabbies. And no way to armor shred except through her Q is going to leave Camille in a pretty particular spot. Looks like they are positioning around this dragon. The wave in the mid lane, in the bot lane, not looking too good. And Heartshaker Sana is also going to catch this.
And we have a fight breaking out. Octave is on the front line, but so is Bliss. And Uzi coming in with that hero's entrance. Shield of Duran taunting both Bliss and Spoderjuan, but he is left alone, and Malefic Visions will come down from the Malzahar and bring down Silver Uzi. 1-0 so far in favor of Rawr.
Yeah, surprising. They have the advantage in that tight choke point with Silver Uzi.
Spoderjuan jumping forward and flashes are burst. Homie popping that unbreakable just to stop those corrosive charges.
Yeah, great, great aggression here from Spoderjuan. They are going to trade the dragon for this top turret, probably looking to try and open up the bot side of the map with 5 players down here. Great job from Spoderjuan though, and really questionable decision making there from the side of Classic. I mean, you have the ultimate from Gallo, you're fighting in a huge choke point, which should be where Varus kind of thrives, and we also see Octave there as well. Still has the Impale, so wasn't able to drag anybody. Yeah, great job there from Rawr, and you know, a lot of misplays. Some of them are backing out, and we see Uzi, you know, he lands in there, ends up dying while the rest of his team is backing up, and just, I think maybe a little bit of miscommunication in terms of what they wanted from that fight.
Absolutely. I mean, that's pretty much the only way to explain Silver Uzi flashing forward, going all in, and just getting left behind by his teammates.
Yeah. I'm interested to see just how they kind of play through this. It looks like they're all trying to group around this bot side. They're already abandoning this top side. No one going back up there. The Baron is the next objective at 21 minutes. Spoderjuan is not going to have TP, so Rawr is though, however, so he can stay in split push, looking to try and get some bot lane pressure.
Yep.
Again, this is
split push. It's that split push Camille, just like we saw in the last game. And Rawr just trying to kite Spoderjuan back and not take too much damage from the Purge.
Ooh, what is that wave
hook-shotting right onto him. And the Disdain will completely miss.
Wait,
but the Purge still doing a massive amount of damage. There's the
Ignite comes down. That's pretty poggers.
But meanwhile, the entire rest of Rawr is trying to make a big push up mid lane. Although it looks now that we are going to have Aurum and Heartshaker heading up to the top lane, looking to get that outer turret and complete
that is free
their set of 3.
Yeah, that is a you know, standing gold at this point. That turret does not have a lot of health, and you know, Spoderjuan is putting out a lot of damage onto Rawr. As soon as Rawr doesn't land the hook shot, it is looting him. There's a lot of armor right now on the side of Spoderjuan, and he is making use of the Purge Disdain and the corrosive charge there.
Nesmith
really scary stuff there.
In Silver Uzi coming back, just kind of backing off a little bit. Almost certainly has to have in mind that where Nezumi is, Aurum probably is not far behind, waiting to pop out of stealth.
Yeah, they know that there's 4 people up here now, so they are going to back up. They're going to give this turret over. Rawr hasn't exactly pushed out the wave just yet, and Densoft and Homie are still sitting mid lane. They're looking to try and maybe make a pick on the Heartshaker, but they are not pushing or using the advantage of having 4 people top lane.
Yeah, they really need to be taking some map control back. Honestly, I would like the go for that mid lane, but honestly, I would have been just as okay with trying to rally something and get the opposite lane pushed out if they really wanted to feel safe. Just take that outer turret down at the bot lane.
Yeah, you have a Braum who can peel you. The only questionable part is obviously you don't have a turret there for that relative safety. Yeah, but Rawr, I mean, they are on the move. They're making proactive plays, and it just looks like Classic are constantly on the back foot, always having to react. And Densoft and X-Homie, they are not having the greatest game. They are definitely a little bit slower, definitely not on the same page, or just they're not making the really decisive calls to move over. They're not evening out the map pressure. They're not pushing lanes.
Ooh, but we do have convergence on Baron here, which will be either a bait or a fight. And coming in from the mid lane, here's Spoderjuan, followed very shortly by the rest of his team. Both teams backing off. Nobody wants to engage in that river bush. But Nesmi coming back around will get hit with that Winter's Bite. Octave coming forward. They always got to be careful with that Impale.
Yeah, have to be worried here. The mid lane is again pushing. That is a lot of damage onto the turret. They are pinging it, looking to try and save it, but
at this point, truly just waiting for Heartshaker to come up. And Rawr dashes in with that hook shot, and there's Uzi with the hero's entered. Spoderjuan getting liquefied in a matter of seconds, and Justice Punch onto Bliss, but he still has so much health, and he's dealing so much damage. Octave getting taken low, and so far it is 2-1 in favor of Rawr and counting. Silver Uzi getting run down as Bliss flashes over the wall and chomps on his face. Aurum, meanwhile, taking down Rawr for an ace over to the side of Rawr. This is
Spoderwon,
almost certainly Baron.
Classic, they spend all of their resources on him. They use the Chain of Corruption onto Spoderwon. They use the ultimate from Galio to try and make this pick, and look what ends up happening. Awu in the backline just completely opening up and letting the Gat sing. Just obliterating Classic. Great job from Spoderwon. I mean, he sacrificed himself for the team, so...
If I were a betting man, I would say this was another problem of communication. You had so much damage being focused onto Bliss right after he had used Subjugate on Octave. He had so much armor, so much magic resist. I don't know what the plan was, focusing that much damage onto him.
Yeah, they focused all of it onto this tanky member, this Bruiser of an Urgot. I mean, doesn't have a lot, but considering most of your members are barely hitting 2 items, you're not going to be doing a lot to this person, to this champion for a while, and this just made it. All right, hey guys, they just literally spent 2, maybe 3 ultimates on Spoderwon. We can just go in. I mean, Awu's going to be protected in the backline. He can open up with the his ultimate, the Spray and Pray. Bliss can also come in and start putting out a lot of damage, and Heartshaker Shauna was able to get the Malzahar ultimate down onto Densoff, so just a lot of abilities being wasted on basically a tank, just so that the ability damage carries can come in, clean up, and Rawr with a great team fight there.
And this will be another Ocean Drake going to the side of Rawr.
Oh, 2 Ocean Drakes.
Heartshaker going up and clear, and yep, say hello to basically never having to back again.
Yeah, essentially, they're just going to be able to back off of just item timings and make sure they have gold. Maybe they have to refresh on control wards, but right now, Spoderwon can sit in a side lane. He does have Smite, so I think he was trying to just maybe secure the
Octave being
Baron.
chased out of his own jungle by Spoderwon.
Yeah, double Ocean Drake just makes it impossible for Raynor at this point to 1v1 Spoderwon. Spoderwon can sit in the side lane. If Raynor ever does get any meaningful damage, he just backs up. Double Ocean Drake will just heal him to full. And Raynor is going to be looking... looks like all 5 are clumped up here in mid lanes. Looks like we have enacted the NA Aurum. Just trying to run it down. There are side waves building.
All ultimates are available for both teams, so they could look for a fight now.
Yeah, I'm interested to see
Raynor
just what happens.
out in the jungle getting caught by Spoderwon, but it won't come to anything.
Yeah, they do have the Baron here, so I'm a little bit worried about this mid lane. They're not getting a lot of damage done. They do now have a cannon minion here.
Half of Homie's health going down with a single Q off of Nezumi.
They actually don't have a lot of range carries. The only person who can really touch and he's just gonna keep blasting away at this turret. The mid lane, or sorry, the top lane and bot lane are building in favor of Classic. They're gonna eventually push out. So we do see that Homie does end up backing, so they might just be able to go.
That's the first inhib turret of the game down, and it looks like they're gonna be able to take the inhibitor as well. And they are now backing off. They're not gonna be greedy. They're going to stay back for now. With
great job from them.
Just a little bit longer. Ooh, Raynor coming in with the hook, but not quite in time to prevent Heartshaker from getting back to base with that empowered recall.
Yeah, this is not looking amazing for Classic. They couldn't do anything. They don't have necessarily a great siege comp. They're looking to maybe drop into 1-3-1 with Galio and Camille inside lanes, then able to use their ultimates and TPs to get into team fights. It is not looking amazing for them, and this is a lot. That was a lot of minions that were in the top lane. 40 now CS in favor of Awu, and he's able to pick up some solo experience, some more solo gold. This is. I mean, Awu is getting.
Awu now sitting at almost 4K gold over Densoft.
That's what happens when you get a couple turrets under his belt. He's also able to get CS, solo experience as well, and now that they're able to push these lanes back, the Baron on them, yeah, their Baron is now expired, so not gonna be able to push waves as heavily now. But what Rawr is looking to do, just push out the sideways and make sure that they are always crashing into turrets, or at least pressuring Classic to get out of the way.
Stealth and liquefying Densoft in what is virtually a solo kill.
Holy. I mean,
look
again,
at that damage.
He is way too yeah, he is way far up. Galio is actually walking back, and you don't have any vision. You also can't see Twitch. Obviously, he is invisible, and You hate to see it. You definitely
And
hate
they're
to
heading
see it.
down to
Is,
that inner turret at the bot lane, hoping to collect another inhibitor on this next push.
I just realized Heartshakers Son is level 17.
Oh,
No one else
wow.
is. I mean, Raynor is 16, but Silver Uzi's at 14. Densoft, I can't even tell.
Man.
He's level
289
dead.
CS at 30 minutes will do it.
Yeah, that is actually insane. So they should have a pretty good way to clear this. Spoderjuan also in the side lane, making sure to get the split push on. So
Bliss positioning very, very aggressively on this Trundle. He knows they can't afford to try to touch him.
yeah, definitely. Great job so far from Rawr. They are showing such clear dominance.
And Octave coming in, popping
here.
that Predator. Hopefully, I'm almost certainly going to be looking for that Predator target.
So many
Trying to get an
slows.
impale. And all those slows, that Pillar of Ice is just going to stop that engage short. That is heartbreaking.
That is also the TP from Raynor, so now Spoderjuan should have a pretty free top lane for the most part. He's able to clear this wave, get some more top pressure and top damage. This is going to be, Raynor is going to get there relatively soon, but Spoderjuan, great, not using the TP just yet, seeing the TP out from Raynor especially. It is going to be, that is now a summoner advantage. He is going to be able to pressure lanes and make sure that maybe some split push can occur. Just take a look at objectives. Baron is up in the next minute. Infernal Drake is the next Drake, up in a minute and 5 seconds and some change. But it is not looking amazing. I know I've already said it a couple times, but Classic on the back foot for the most of this game. Not trying to make some proactive plays, but getting shut down every which way.
Now, I do have to note that there's one place in which Rawr is a little bit on the back foot right now. It's that vision up around the... But the northern sector of the jungle is pretty decidedly in the control of Classic right now.
Yeah, if we take a look at the river, there's a lot of vision here for the side of Rawr. They have the blue, they have the scuttle as well, and they do have some choice vision, but on their side of the map, Classic is dominating the top side. I am worried, again, Densoft really putting his build behind, still not at a second item. Awu at 3 items, going almost
slowed down with that Malzahar tax, picking up that Quicksilver Sash.
Doesn't have the Rage Blade yet on Densoft. Did just pick up the Quicksilver Sash, so just trying to make sure that Sana can't lock him down. That is pretty detrimental right now. Densoft so far behind, and now this is going to be the Infernal.
All right, and they are just as they're getting to that part of the game where Infernal starts really paying off, and Octave will get rooted by this Karma and has to flash over the wall. Raynor coming in with that Hex Tech ultimatum. He is all alone. Galio getting in as fast as he can, and they are actually able to pick up a kill onto Awu, but Silver Uzi is all by himself. So low. Rib getting brought very low, and subsequently we're solo Silver Uzi, X-Homie, and Densoft running for dear life, getting taken down by Chomp and by Fear Beyond Death, respectively, for yet another ace in favor of Rawr.
Triple kill going over to Sana, and that was an amazing team fight. Awu putting out so much damage with the hook shot from Raynor, and having to use the Hextech ultimatum and ultimate the hero's entrance from Galio. This is probably going to be the end of the game. No one's up for 20. They have an amazing siege with Malzahar and Urgot especially. That is a lot of damage. It is 18-9, 33 minutes into the game. Classic looking to go to game 3. Rawr picking up possibly another win here. Another first win in this series.
Moving to the second turret just as Octave is coming up. Silver Uzi and Densoft 3 seconds away, but it will be a quick Nexus take, picking up game 2 in favor of Rawr for a 1-1 tie.
Yeah,
like you said, we're going to game 3.
We're going to game 3, boys. Not necessarily Silver Scrapes just yet, but still a close. So far, it is a close series. Great job from Rawr. They are showing a very, very dominant game 2 there. Both in terms of the Urgot and Awu with the performance.
Woo, that was a lot of fun to watch. Very clean, just a slow, grinded out game by Rawr there, picking up those incremental advantages and not giving an inch. Very good example of a game that was just slowly secured.
Yeah. I just think that, and just in general, that was a relatively clean game. If I'm going to try and take a look at the stats real quick. Yeah, Karma actually did the most damage to champions, so great job. Great job, Karma. Nezumi putting out the most damage, but again, if not Awu for his carry performance, then definitely Bliss. Bliss with some amazing pillars.
Indeed, indeed.
All right, I think we're gonna try and get into the second game as quickly as possible. So yeah, don't move anybody. Do not go to another stream unless it's to go to Overdrive League. Their stream, I think they're still doing bronze, silver, gold, or bronze, silver. Don't call me on that though. You do not want to move. We are going to go head to a break, and we're going to go to game 3, Rawr versus. Oh my God, Rawr versus Classic. My bad.